What's up everybody, I'm Logan from Sleepopolis, and today I'll be reviewing the GhostBed mattress. Now during the video portion of the review, I'm going to talk about what the bed is made of, run some tests, and finally give my pros and cons for the GhostBed. But if you want the full written review, you can check it out at sleepopolis.com, where you'll find the review under the mattress review section on the nav bar at the top of the screen. Right now though, let's talk about what the GhostBed feels like. Now when I lie down on the GhostBed, the first thing that sticks out to me is that I was actually pretty impressed with the amount of support I was getting from this all-foam bed. If I was to give it a number between 1 and 10, I would say it's about a 7 on the firmness scale. That's a bit to the firmer side, so while I was lying on my back, I definitely felt like my hips were well supported. I feel more on top of the mattress. I think back sleepers are really going to enjoy the GhostBed. Now rolling around, changing positions on the GhostBed is pretty easy. I thought it provided really great mobility. It's not so much like a bounce you might be expecting out of a pocketed coil or inner spring mattress. However, there is no stuck feeling as I'm changing positions here on the GhostBed. Rolling onto my side, that firmer support does give me a little bit of pressure at the shoulders. We'll take a closer look at that later on in the review. If you do spend just a small portion of the night on your side, you might be okay here, but if you are a strict side sleeper, I probably would look at a softer mattress. GhostBed does have a softer mattress called the GhostBed Luxe. We'll cover that a little bit later on in the review as well. Now rolling onto my stomach, what I'm looking for here is what my hips are doing. If they're sinking too far into the mattress, your spine is gonna be out of position. You're gonna wake up with aches and pains in your lower back. I thought that the firmer support here of the GhostBed did a pretty good job of keeping my hips from sinking too far into the mattress. Now if you are a strict stomach sleeper, you are probably going to want something with firmer support, but if you do spend just a portion of the night on your stomach, something like a back stomach combo sleeper, I do think you will like the GhostBed. Now to give you a better idea of what's going on with the GhostBed, I've peeled back the cover so you can see the materials used and the layers of it. Now as you can see, the GhostBed is an all foam mattress made of 3 different layers and it stands 10 inches in height. The cover of the GhostBed is a mixture of polyester and viscose, pretty standard cover for a bed-in-a-box mattress. Now below that you can see that the comfort layer is 1.5 inches of latex, and that is over 2 inches of gel memory foam. Now the reason that that construction is interesting is because while the latex is soft, it has a quicker response to pressure, so you are going to sink through it as well as get some nice pressure relief from the memory foam below. But that quick response is what's going to give you that mobility I was talking about before, as opposed to the slow response to the pressure of the gel memory foam, which some people can say gives it a little bit of a stuck feeling. So it defends against the stuck feeling from the memory foam while still allowing you to sink in for nice pressure relief. Also, this latex layer on top is aerated with some holes. You can see that here. Basically, that's going to help with airflow and breathability. Now, all of that is supported by 7.5 inches of high-density polyfoam. High-density polyfoam is a really firm material, and it's used in a lot of bed-in-a-box mattresses as the support of the mattress. Now instead of just taking my word on the feel of the GhostBed, I like to run a few tests on all of the mattresses that I review so you get a more objective look at what's going on with these beds. First up is the pressure map test, and basically I put a pressure map down on top of the mattress, lie down in a few positions, and you'll see the results next to me ranging from blue for low pressure to red for high pressure. And on my back, weight's evenly distributed. You can see it's blue across the board. That's pretty much what I was expecting, and it's good to see it here because I do think this mattress is going to be liked by a lot of the back sleepers out there. Now rolling onto the side is where I generally see some pretty interesting results. With firmer beds, you will see the pressure spike up into that yellow or red range. Here we do see it go into that lighter green range that's just on the verge of yellow. I think, like I said before, if you're a combo side sleeper that spends somewhere below 20% of your night on your side, you're gonna be okay here on the GhostBed. But for the really strict side sleepers, you're gonna want a plusher feel, something that you can really sink into. Now on this, rolling onto the stomach, again, weight's evenly distributed. You can see it is blue across the board. It doesn't really tell the whole story. I do think that the support here is pretty good for my hips, kept my spinal line in a pretty good position, but overall, if you are going to spend the entire night on your stomach, again, you'll probably want to find something a little bit firmer than the GhostBed. Now the next test that I like to run is a bounce or mobility test. Basically, if you're changing positions throughout the night, are you going to feel stuck in the mattress? Well, there is a little bit of sinkage into the GhostBed. I was pretty happy with my ability to change positions without feeling stuck in the layers. Like we just saw during the materials portion, there is a latex layer over that memory foam layer, so you're getting that sinkage in, but that quicker response to pressure really keeps you on top of the bed, so that's a really good sign for the combo sleepers out there. Now the last test that I like to run is a motion transfer test. Basically, if you share your bed with a partner, are you going to feel it as they adjust their position during the middle of the night or get into and out of bed? Now to test that, I put a seismometer down where you might be sleeping, and on the other side of the bed, I drop a 10-pound steel ball from heights of 4, 8, and 12 inches to simulate that motion, and the seismometer tracks to see how much disturbance is transferred across the mattress with each drop. Now I gotta say, being a little nitpicky, I was kind of surprised by how much motion was transferred across the surface of the GhostBed with each of those drops. Because there is that quicker response to pressure from the latex top layer, that good mobility, there is going to be a little bit more disturbance transferred across the GhostBed than if it was a really thick memory foam layer on top. There is less motion disturbance with the GhostBed Luxe model, something like that. It is a little bit more expensive, but if you do share your bed with a partner, want a little bit more of a plush feel, you might want to check out that mattress. Now during this review, I've been taking a look at the original GhostBed, their flagship mattress, but they have 3 other models in their mattress line, so I want to give you some quick information on those here. First up, the GhostBed Luxe is their other all-foam mattress. It's got a super plush feel to it. You're gonna sink really deep into the mattress. It was specifically designed with cooling in mind, and I really like it for the side sleepers out there. Next was their first hybrid mattress, the GhostBed Flex. Now the Flex has some softer foams on top for some nice pressure relief, but it is supported by pocketed coils, so it's gonna give you some nice bounce. I really like it for the back and side combo sleepers, and it has the added bonus of being really great at isolating motion transfer, so I think the couples out there will really like it as well. And they've just recently come out with a new hybrid mattress, the GhostBed 3D Matrix. It's got a nice medium firmness that I like for the combo sleepers out there. I was really impressed with its mobility, and it was also designed with cooling in mind, having a cooling cover, cooling gel underneath that cover, and a gel memory foam, all designed to help those that overheat during the middle of the night sleep a bit cooler. Now those are really quick hits on 3 other mattresses, but if you want the full reviews of any of them, you can find them at sleepopolis.com. Now before I end the review, I do want to give you some of my pros and cons for the GhostBed. First up, I would recommend it to the back sleepers out there. I was pretty impressed with its support for an all-foam mattress. Really did a good job of keeping my spine in a good alignment. I'd also say it's nice because of the great mobility. I felt very much on top of the mattress, and I was able to change positions without feeling stuck in the foam layers. And finally, I think it's a really great value. I think they use really quality materials, and it comes in at a pretty good price for the market. Now, some of the reasons I would say it's not for you, some of my complaints with the GhostBed is that I don't think it's a great choice for these strict side sleepers out there. I think it's just a little bit too firm. You might feel a little bit jammed up at the shoulders if you are spending your whole night on your side. And also, if I'm being a little nitpicky, I thought that the really high motion transfer kind of counted against the GhostBed. Now, if you are interested in purchasing a GhostBed, I do want to give you some of their company policies. First up, they offer a 101 night trial period, so you can have it in your home for just over 3 months, deciding whether you want to keep it or send it back. Shipping is free. It will arrive compressed in a box. You want to let it decompress for a few hours or even overnight before you sleep on it. And finally, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Of course, you want to check out exactly what that covers on the website. That's pretty good in terms of an online bed-in-a-box warranty. Now, in terms of price, it is a little bit variable, so you're going to want to check out up-to-the-date pricing and coupon information on our full review at sleepopolis.com. Now, there are a few topics that are not covered by our standard mattress review process, so I want to answer some of the frequently asked questions we receive about the GhostBed. First up is people want to know if you can flip a GhostBed, and the answer is no. Because of the way the foam layers are laid out, the comfort layer is on top and the firm support is on the bottom, so if you did flip it, you would get a much firmer feel. If you are worried about wearing out your GhostBed, you can actually rotate it 180 degrees so that you get some even wear on the mattress. Next up, how long do GhostBed mattresses last? Now, this is a question we get a lot about all foam mattresses, as people are a little worried about the long-term lifespan of these beds. Now, I don't have an exact timeline of when you'll have to replace the GhostBed mattress, but what I will say is that the GhostBed has a 20-year warranty, which is about twice the length of other all foam bed-in-a-box mattresses out there. And finally, are GhostBeds good for back pain? Now that's a little difficult because it does depend on a few variables, such as you have prior back injuries and what position you sleep in. But what I would say is that if you are a back sleeper, I was pretty impressed with the support that I received from the GhostBed mattress. I thought it did a good job of keeping my spine in a good alignment, which is the first step of having a healthy back. So that's it for my review of the GhostBed. If there's anything I didn't cover, just leave a comment below. Now again, I did just cover a little bit of the GhostBed during the video portion, so if you want the full review, you can check it out on sleepopolis.com. Also be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any of our sleep news or giveaway announcements, and head to Sleepopolis for all of your sleep needs.